Hello everyone and Happy New Year! I am here today with my 2017 goals video. The year never feels quite right until I've set my goals, so I'm here to talk about what I hope to accomplish this year. If you guys have watched my goals videos before, you'll know that I use the SMART criteria when I set my goals. So basically I set goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely, and I will link a really old blog post that I did below in case you want to read more about that. The reason I call these goals instead of New Year's resolutions is because I don't set out to change on January 1st of every year. Instead, I give myself the entire year to change my lifestyle or to develop specific habits that are in line with the goals that I set. I usually have 3 to 5 broad categories under which I'll set a few specific goals or tactics that meet the SMART criteria. This year, however, I only have one general broad category, and that is healthy mind, body, and spirit. But of course, I always have my finances goal and my photo a day project goal, which I will talk about towards the end. So the first thing I want to do in 2017 is to keep a gratitude journal. So this is writing down, or in my case, typing out at least one thing a day that I'm grateful for. So yesterday was the first day, it's January 2nd today, and I had about, I think it was 4 or 5 things that I felt truly grateful for. These are points in the day that I felt really happy or fortunate, and I wanted to document them so I wouldn't forget them. I tend to be the type of person that worries about a lot of things. I definitely sweat the small stuff, and that's something that I want to work on in 2017. Just not stressing as much, not getting upset as easily, just having a more big picture outlook on life rather than getting too caught up in the nitty-gritty. I received a very insightful comment on one of my previous videos on not ignoring anger or stifling it. So I definitely want to recognize when I feel anxious or upset or angry or impatient or whatnot. And I know I'm going to feel that way at some point in 2017. When I do feel those sorts of negative emotions pop up, what I'm going to do is try to understand where it's coming from and how I could possibly change my situation so it doesn't occur again. My second and third goals are very similar to 2016, and the reason I'm setting them as goals again this year is because I got part of the way there, but I didn't get all of the way there. So the first of these is to stretch for at least 10 minutes a day, and these are going to be timed stretches. And I've given this a little more thought as to how I could accomplish this a little bit better in 2017, so I'll talk about one of those goals a little bit later. The other thing I want to do that also appeared in my 2016 goals is to go for more massages, and I want to go for at least 8 in 2017. Goals 4 and 5 are also very similar to 2016, but I'm going to push the boundary a little bit. Last year, I set a goal that I wanted to wake up at least 1.5 hours before leaving for work, and this year I'm going to try to wake up at least 2 hours before leaving for work. So typically I leave for work at 8 o'clock, so in 2017, on the days that I have to go to work, I'd like to wake up at 6 o'clock. And since I'm waking up a little bit earlier, I also want to go to sleep a bit earlier, so I'm also setting the time that I shut down my computer half an hour earlier at 9 o'clock. I think shutting down at 9 p.m. is definitely going to be a challenge, so this is something that I'm going to revisit down the road to see if I can accomplish it while still maintaining my YouTube videos and the research that I want to do online and such. My 6th goal is the goal that I'm hoping will help me achieve a lot of the other things that are on my list this year, and that is to only watch YouTube videos when I'm doing something productive. So this is going to be, again, very difficult because once I start watching a YouTube video, I go down that rabbit hole and I usually watch for hours and hours at a time, just all of the suggestions on the sidebar, or maybe I've discovered a new YouTuber that I'm addicted to. So I'm hoping this is going to be one of those game changer goals for me in 2017, where if I do this, a lot of other pieces will fall into place. So I'll only be watching YouTube videos when I'm at the gym, when I'm getting ready in the morning, perhaps when I'm doing my stretches. I have to be doing something productive. The only exception to the rule is when my husband and I watch a YouTube video together. These are very few and far between. We have very different interests when it comes to YouTube. And of course, since I eat mindfully now, I'm not going to be watching YouTube videos while eating, so that does not count as multitasking for me. My seventh goal is kind of an interesting one because I have 3 challenges that I want to do in 2017. So if you follow my channel, you'll know that I did the Eat at Home challenge last November, and this was one of those game-changing things for me where it changed my lifestyle and helped me to reset, even though it was only a 30-day challenge. So a lot of the principles and a lot of the habits that I developed during those 30 days of eating at home have really stuck with me, and the momentum has kind of carried me forward. So the 3 that I want to do in 2017 include the Eat at Home challenge again. I'd like to do this in March. I have also started the 31-day yoga revolution. This is through the channel Yoga with Adriene. I started yesterday, right on January the 1st, and I'm hoping to continue with this for the entire month of January. I will link this challenge down below, but I am very excited about it. I used to love yoga and I used to go around 3 times a week, but I've been trying to get back into the habit in the last few years and I just haven't been able to pick it up. So I'm very excited to try this and see if I can keep up with it. The last challenge I'd like to try sometime in 2017, I haven't set a specific month for it yet, is to meditate every single day. I'm still looking into this one because meditation is something that I've never given any thought to. A few people in my life have done it in the past. I know at least 2 or 3 friends who have done meditation or who do it regularly. However, it's just not something that has ever interested me because if you know me in real life, you'll know that I am super go, go, go. I'm a little bit better now than I was before. I always pride myself on being very productive and efficient, and meditation is something that I never saw the value in. However, as I was looking into the healthy body, mind, and spirit theme for this year, meditation kept coming up. So I'm going to try it for 30 days. And the beauty of these challenges is that they're very time limited. You do it for a month, and then if you don't like it, you've given it a good try and you can move on to something else if it's not for you. As I mentioned earlier, I am still looking into this one, so I don't know the specifics of how long each meditation session will be, how many times a day I'll meditate. It will be every single day though. Whether I'm going to be sitting or lying down, I don't know any of those details yet, but I will keep you guys updated, probably vlog style. My next goal came about after doing the David's Tea Advent Calendar. I found that having a tea in the evening, it was really soothing, and when I say tea, I don't necessarily mean caffeinated tea. It could be an herbal infusion or a rooibos or something like that, but just having a hot steeped drink every evening really did wonders for, I would say, my peace of mind and for my hydration. And I found that since finishing the Advent calendar, I haven't been drinking tea as much, and also I haven't been drinking water as much. So that's the reason I want to start drinking tea every single evening in 2017. I've gotten out of the habit of rotating my jewelry and just trying new things in terms of accessorizing. So I'd like to do a little more of that in 2017, and as you can see, I pulled out my pearls. If you follow my Instagram, I started dabbling in accessorizing towards the latter half of the year because often when I'm thinking of goals, I like to test it out a little bit to see if it's something that I'm really comfortable with before actually making it a formal goal. So I did test out playing around with jewelry a little bit in my office capsule, and I really liked the outcome. It just dressed up my outfits. I didn't look as plain, and it was a lot of fun. I don't have any specific decluttering goals in 2017, but I do want to get a handle of how long it takes me to use up a product. And this is something I've started already towards the latter half of 2016 because again, I wanted to test it out to see if I could do it. Various fields on when I purchased the item, when I started using the item, when I finished using the item, who uses the item, how often, and how many days it lasted for. So I'm hoping to get a handle on how long, say, a liter of shampoo lasts, or how long one of those big bottles of Dr. Bronner's soap lasts, so I can plan out a little bit more during sales how much to buy. I also want to start tracking my mascara and my lip gloss, only using those items for 3 to 6 months. So by getting a better sense of how long it takes me to use up a product, I hope to control my stash a little bit better and to just generally be a little bit more conscious when purchasing beauty items and toiletries. My last 2 goals are the same as always. The first is an annual savings goal. I'm not going to be doing any budget goals this year because I learned my lesson from 2016, but as long as I meet my savings goal, I will be very proud of myself and I will pat myself on the back. So one of you asked how I set my savings goal. Very basically, I look at my annual income after tax and I look at all of the expenses that I expect in the year. I take the difference, and that is my net income. And out of that number, I usually set it at around 80 to 90% of that. However, sometimes I do set a stretch goal, which is closer to 100% of my projected net income. It's very hard to budget the first time around because you don't have a good sense of how much you spend on each category. The key is to start doing it today rather than 2 months from now or next January 1st and the like, because the more data you have, the easier it becomes. I'll link a finances video down below that I did on how to save money, and I talk a little bit more about budgeting in that video. My final goal is my photo a day project. I basically take a photo a day of my husband and me, and then I do these little calendar collages at the end of the year. I'm still working on the ones from 2016 because I felt way behind. I was still taking the photos, I just didn't do the collages. I just love seeing at a glance all of our funny photos together and how we change throughout the year in terms of the way we look and such, so I find it really interesting and a lot of fun to do it. I contemplated not setting it as a goal this year because I think we are in the habit of taking a photo a day, but I do want to track it to see if I improve in terms of the number of days missed. In 2016, I missed 13 days, and I want to continue to bring that number down. One day I'm going to have 365 or 366 photos, but that day has not yet arrived, so I'm still going to keep it as a goal. So that is it for my 2017 goals. This was a bit of a long-winded video, so I'm going to try to cut it down. Please let me know down below if you set goals for the year or resolutions. If you feel like sharing a couple, I would love to read about them. Thank you so much for watching this video, and also thank you so much for watching my New Year's Eve vlog and leaving such sweet comments. I read all of your comments and I will respond to each one of you. I hope you're all having a great start to 2017, and I will see you very soon in another video. Until then, please take care and bye for now.